Well, good Wednesday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3. Also streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Our guest this morning classing up the joint a little bit. I'll introduce you to him here in just one second. He is one of 4 candidates running for mayor in the city of Villa Rica. His name is Kendrick Davis, and traveled all the way down from Villa Rica to join us this morning and promote his campaign. Election Day, November 7th.
November 7th.
And we think it's a 3-week early voting period. Haven't confirmed if there's going to be early voting actually in Villa Rica yet, have we?
There is actually. Okay. There's going to be early voting at Powell Park.
Okay, and it'll be just that last week?
Yeah, it'll be that last week. It's going to be on October 30th through November the 3rd at Powell Park, 8:30 to 5.
Okay, very good. All right, again, Kendrick Davis, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Sir, tell who are you, what are you about, and then perhaps what's the motivation for running for mayor?
Well, absolutely. I'm Kendrick Davis. I'm originally from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. While in Alabama, I was in Parks and Recreation for several years. I went to Jacksonville State University, graduated from there with my bachelor's of science in exercise science and wellness with a minor in community health. I have a sports management degree, a master's, of course. But during my time at Jacksonville State, I did travel over to Douglasville a lot, going to Arbor Place Mall. You know, as a student, we traveled over the weekend over here to Georgia. So I was always interested in living in Georgia. And fortunately enough, after I had a little bit of career in North Alabama, I ended up taking an opportunity in Metro Atlanta, and I actually moved to Douglasville during that time. And as I was in Douglasville, I lived in an apartment complex for 6 months. I asked all my coworkers, hey, what's a good city to live around here? I thought it was Powder Springs. That's why I originally wanted to live at. But everybody said, hey, go to Villa Rica. And I did. Went to Villa Rica, found a great house in a great neighborhood off of Pool Road, and we moved down there in 2014, stayed there for 2 years, and, on Douglas County side, then we eventually moved over to the Carroll County side in 2016. So we've been here 9 years in the city of Villa Rica. It's been a great experience so far. As a person that's trying to run for mayor right now, it's very important to install the voice of the people back into City Hall. I don't feel like it's right now that way. So we got to get the voice of the people back into City Hall. So I'm that individual that's going to try to do that.
Were there any particular specific issues? I mean, it's a great statement. I mean, you did target, hey, this is what I want to change about it. But were there any kind of specific issues that came up that you said, you know what, that's going to be the one that makes me want to make the change?
Well, of course, there's a lack of communication. There's a lack of communication from City Hall to the general public. When you're trying to find information, you got to dig for it. And then when you ask a question about it, they get a little bit sensitive about it. So we don't need to have that. We need to have true communication with the general public. We need to make sure that everybody is in the know. Just for example, with the Fuquay project, there are things that's been changed with that project. Individuals did not know there was going to be a Mavis tire over there, but now there's a Mavis tire going up. So things like that, we need to make sure we're clear with the general public,
And why is that important to know about the Mavis tire?
It's very important because, an individual went to City Hall last night to discuss a few things, and she was saying that, she had been over in that area for 3 years now. She moved into Villa Rica, and she didn't know that it was going to be a Mavis tire, behind her house. If she had known that a couple years ago, she probably wouldn't have moved into that neighborhood. She probably would have moved to another part of the city. So that's very important that we are communicating these things to all these individuals that are moving to our community.
All right, Kendrick Davis is our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, one of 4 people running for mayor in the city of Gold. If you have any questions or comments, you can post those to the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, and hopefully my phone battery doesn't die out, and I'll be able to check those at least during the break. What do you see as the most important role of the mayor of the city of Villa Rica? Because there are different charters for cities, and may have different responsibilities, but for Villa Rica, what's the most important role?
Well, the mayor is the executive of the city. The mayor lays the groundwork for the city, lays the foundation. The mayor has the vision for the city. The employees, they lay out that foundation as well, but of course, they are the ones that build on it. They build on it to make sure that the citizens have a good place to live, work, eat, and play. That's our responsibility as a city. We need to make sure that we're giving all our citizens a great opportunity to live, work, and play in our community. But with that being said, we also got to provide those resources also for those citizens. And we need to pretty much find a better way to do that right now. I spend a lot of my money in Dallas. I spend a lot of my money in Hiram. I spend a lot of money in Oxford, Alabama, and Douglasville. We need to bring those resources to Villa Rica. That's one thing we need to do.
You talking about food? Or you talking about
All
items
the
for the
above.
home?
All the above. Family entertainment, more restaurants, more shopping. One thing about the Foodquay project, I think there's going to be a lot of restaurants down there. I know there's going to be a Smoothie King down there, a Dunkin' Donut, a Chase Bank, of course, a Mavis Tire now, and also a Publix, So we need a Ross, we need a TJ Maxx, we need a Marshalls, we need a Burleson Coat Factory, We need more clothing stores. We need a Sam's, we need a Costco possibly. We're still going to have people going outside our community to shop in Carrollton, if we don't get a hold of this thing.
But how do you do that? How do you attract those businesses, and where do you put them in Villa-Rica?
Well, here's the thing. In my opinion, we need to hire an economic manager that will fall under the community development department. That individual will be responsible for trying to gander new business for the city, tax-wise, and also help out with tourism. I feel like that's a very important position. It's a position I feel like we've lacked in the city for years now, and that's why we need to create more strategies within the city to get more type of businesses that the citizens would like.
Yeah, you did talk about tourism. So you talked about tourism a little bit, but how do you feel about downtown Villa-Rica? Do you think that that's living up to the best it could possibly be?
Well, I have plans for a parking deck, downtown, right near the Villa-Rica Welcome Center, right on the backside. If you think about the olive tree, right on the backside there's a large piece of
Villa-Rica property, or is it?
I'm not sure yet, but I know that in the 2016 master plan for downtown, there was a parking deck that was included in that package. So we do need to go back to that master plan and view it again and make sure we put a parking deck downtown. Temple Street, in my opinion, needs to be shut down. Just like we had the Gold Rush Festival this weekend, we had a lot of vendors on Temple Street. That needs to be permanent. It makes sense to do that, as well, but we really need to start thinking about more opportunities downtown as well. We have a lot of great businesses downtown, but I think a lot of traffic that's going by, they don't get the opportunity to see those great businesses downtown. We have a lot of great stores downtown. So we need to present more opportunities to get people to walk downtown, speed tables as well.
Kendrick Davis, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, one of 4 candidates running for mayor in the city of Gold. How accessible could you be to constituents? I mean, how much time can you put into the job of mayor?
A lot of time. Right now with my campaign, I've been doing a lot of legwork. I've been in a lot of these communities. I've been downtown talking to a lot of these businesses. I've been on Darden Street. I've been on Cleghorn. I've been in my neighborhood, of course, which is off of Berry Drive. We've been doing a good job, but, my career, I'm a firefighter. So I work 24 on, 48 off. I have a lot of days out of the month that I'm free to do whatever I want to do. So I can spend that time going into the schools talking to students. I can go to these private businesses talking to them how we can get partnerships. I have that time to do all that.
How would you handle disagreement with somebody in city council or somebody just in the city who you may not, technically be the boss of, somebody, working in the department in the city? How would you handle a disagreement? And do you take criticism well?
Oh, I take criticism very well. But we have a great city manager in Mr. Barber, and it's all through him. He's city manager. So if we have a complaint, we can take it to Mr. Barber. He can talk to their department head, and we can handle things from there.
All right, Kendrick Davis, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Time right now is 8:38. We'll take our first break. And if you do have any questions or comments, please post those to the Facebook page, and I'll look at those during the break. Otherwise, we'll come up with some more topical discussion here on the Community Voice on this Wednesday, brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
The customized academic scholar journey at Oak Mountain Academy is individually designed to provide students with a personalized, clearly defined academic track that earns the student a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically driven students to pursue a focused, rigorous course of study personalized to their wants and desires. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
840, welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Time right now is 840. My name is Colin Worthington. My guest is Kendrick Davis, one of 4 qualifiers to run for mayor for the city of Villa Rica. Municipal elections are coming up in November. See that Leslie Smith McPherson, who is also a candidate for mayor, she's checked in and she hit the like button on
Absolutely.
our program.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for checking in this morning, Leslie. Let's get some topical issues that the city of Villa Rica has had to deal with recently. Back in July, residents of Darden Street pretty much filled up the city hall city council meeting, jam-packed, as they were unhappy with city plans for a road connecting Mayoral Lake community to downtown, and that would require some demolition of their homes.
That's correct.
Now, have you talked with those families, and how do you feel about the way the city did handle that?
Well, I'm not in agreement to bring over that connection through Darden Street. That those communities members, they've been in that community for over 60 years. I'm not in agreement to that. I did go over there and speak with them over the weekend, and they're still not happy. You know, some of them have also lawyered up. That's not a good thing. You know, we don't need to take that any further. We just need to redesign that whole process.
I believe Shirley Marchman, city councilwoman, said that she would not be supportive of it. And I don't know if that's something else that's going to be brought for a vote later or not.
I'm not sure as of yet, but I know right now there is individuals that are walking around to those residences trying to make sure they sign off on easements. So they're not happy about that either. I am in full support of those individuals on Darden Street. I don't want that road to go through there as well. You
think the city would choose to do eminent domain and just take the property?
I would hope not. I'm not going to if I was elected. I'm not going to do that. That community don't deserve that. Those family members have been there forever. I'm not going to go in there and, destroy a neighborhood to bring convenience to another. I'm not going to do that.
Unfortunately, Villa Rica made national news maybe a couple months ago.
That's correct.
For a story. It's regarding the shooting targets during a police camp, or what was police camp for citizens, police council, or something like that. And there were some targets used that some people were offended by. How do you feel about the city's response to that? Do you think they supported the police department and defended them enough, or do you think, they needed to or did not do it, or?
Well, I think there was too much communication at first. I know the mayor made a statement that didn't make that situation any better. They should have just sat back for a second and actually rethought that process out. It was distasteful, but I don't fully blame the police department. I don't think they were just putting something out there to, bring a negative light on, an ethnic group. I don't think that's what they were doing. I think it was just an oversight. It was a mistake. We learn from our mistakes. I'm in full support of the police department. The Citizens Academy is a great opportunity for citizens to get out, learn how to use a handgun. I'm in full support of that, but moving forward, we definitely don't need to use human targets.
What's the staff? Are Villa Rica Police fully staffed at this point?
Oh, no, they're still openings. There are still openings because I know on the website they are still hiring.
Yeah, so you don't know how much they're lacking at this point?
I'm not sure.
Do you know what would make that job more attractive?
What's that?
To make the Villa Rica Police? Do you have an idea of what would make that more attractive?
Well, I know a lot of the officers, they want to be able to smoke in their car. I know, and it's things that simple that'll get them happy. So, I'm in agreement to that, too. We can change that rule. We can allow those guys to smoke in their vehicles again.
What do you think is the biggest issue facing Villa Rica at this point? You talked about Temple Street, things along those lines, but what do you think is the biggest issue? Is it public perception of some things that might be going on? Is it water?
The water situation, I feel like is going to be it's handled to the best magnitude that they can handle that. I know last night they discussed that the water plant needs to be redone. It's going to cost $20 million. We need to go ahead and foot that bill. It's not an issue now, but moving forward, it probably will be. But we need to make sure that we plan to, build a new $20 million facility. But right now, Villa Rica doesn't need to become Apartment City USA. That's the problem. We need to focus more on single-family housing. We need to make sure that we can have more single-family housing so we can encourage it. Yeah, we don't need to be Apartment City USA. It's just a bad look.
So you think that they've approved or allowed for maybe rezonings or too many apartments?
There's too many apartments.
There's 5,000 units, and that includes single-family houses that are been talked about over the last year. I don't know how many of that's going to come to fruition, but a lot of them are.
Yeah, a lot of them are, but we are going to become Apartment City USA.
What's the bad thing about that?
Well, here's the thing. We need to encourage more single-family housing because at the end of the day, apartments don't bring any value to your community, nor does it bring any value to the individuals that are in those apartments. They need to focus on getting a house and building equity. That's going to help them in their future. That's what we need to focus on. We can take advantage of USDA loans and help those individuals out, hold town hall meetings so we can make sure that we can have more homeowners in our communities. But, I have an issue with the project that's happening over at the Super 8, if everybody's familiar, where the old Pizza Hut is, the Waffle House that was shut down. We have a lack of hotels here. We have one top-tier hotel in the city of Villa Rica, and that's the Holiday Inn Express. If we're going to take advantage of tourism, moving forward, we need more top-tier hotels, and we don't have any plans for any more top-tier hotels. So that could have been a great opportunity to put 2 additional top-tier hotels, such as a Hampton Inn or a Hilton Garden, down in that particular place instead of one restaurant and more apartments.
What, do you just hold out until somebody comes to you and interested to do it, or how do you attract them?
Well, no, that's the main purpose of hiring an economic manager. The economic manager, that's their responsibility, go out and seek businesses for your community. That's their major responsibility, and we don't have that at the city of Villa Rica.
The industrial park, last I heard, they're full. There aren't any vacancies in it. Do we need more room for industrial?
Well, of course we do. Of course we need more room for industrial. We're kind of landlocked right now. The only thing we probably can do moving forward is probably try to annex into the county a little bit more if they allow it. That's something that we can think about and talk about, moving forward. I know there's a piece of property that was near the pilot off of Edge Road that right now it's an open space, but I know they have plans for it in the future. I was told that should have been a Lowe's. We need more hardware type stores. We only have a Home Depot. Tractor Supplies, we're here in Carrollton. Ace Hardware, it's in Temple. So, we need to make sure that we have all those businesses that, they can stay in Villa Rica so we don't have to travel out into these communities to spend money out there we spend in Villa Rica.
Kendrick Davis, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, one of 4 candidates running for the mayor's seat in the city of Villa Rica. Last week we had Mac Pilgrim on Friday, and have a couple of other guests, other candidates scheduled for later on this month. But again, today Kendrick Davis is our guest. How do you feel about transportation opportunities in Villa Rica? I think there is the Carroll connection, but is there anything that would you be interested in seeing some of the focus on Villa Rica?
Well, Carroll Connection is definitely doing a good job, for sure. I'm glad that they provided that resource. For anyone that I've talked to out in the community, they have said nothing about transportation. I know Douglas County, I believe, is getting MARTA here soon over the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's a dirty word. I'm thinking Villa Rica,
but nothing transportation-wise has been said to me, so I believe everything is fine.
How about the traffic issues? Have those been brought to your attention?
Oh, absolutely. Anything off of Berry Drive, South Carroll. I know there's a big project going up off Talbert, a huge project. South Carroll to Talbert to get back on the 61. It's a nightmare already as it is, coming out of Wildwood off of South Carroll, which is on the backside of Walmart. Those people complain all the time. I went out there to Wildwood, and they did have that complaint. Maybe they want a traffic light. I'm like, I don't know if that's even going to work there. Infrastructure-wise, I know the city do have plans like for Punkintown Road. I know they are going to apply for a $15 million grant for Punkintown to try to, fix that roadway up so it doesn't have all those holes in it as it has in it now. And I know last night there was a discussion about, the top end of it, not, taking it all the way up. But I feel like that project needs to go all the way up Punkintown instead of stopping.
Where would it stop?
Well, they were saying there was a low traffic situation up near, I guess, the roundabout. But we need to just do all of Punkintown. There's no reason to stop somewhere.
You had mentioned, and I didn't see the meeting last night, talking about a new water system. Is it new? Is it wastewater?
Well, it's actual water treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
To pay for that, you said we should go ahead and do that. How would we pay for that? Are you going to have to raise rates?
Well, for sure. We will have to raise rates, and that's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate situation, but if you explain that to the community and the reasons why, we're doing all that, they'll have a better understanding. I don't think the citizens, for the most part, have a problem with paying a little bit more, but they have a problem when you don't communicate your message of why. So if we explain to them why, we're having to raise our rates for this, they'll have a better understanding.
Villa Rica City Council, the city of Villa Rica announced this summer that they did intend to maintain the millage rate, which would have equated a tax increase for property owners in Villa Rica.
That's correct.
By announcing that, they did have the option to say, hey, we can roll it back a certain amount, and they ended up choosing to a full rollback. But that means that they will not collect additional revenue from taxpayers. I mean, you get away both sides of that. Kind of needed that revenue, but homeowners are happy that they don't have to pay additional taxes. What's your view on that?
Well, it's fine that we did a rollback, but if it's going to harm us, and I know it's a political year, and maybe that was a political play. That's great, but if it's going to harm us, we don't need to do that. It just could have stayed the same. We don't need to be struggling, within the city, because I know there was $2 million that the city officials recommended, for the new budget, and it didn't go in there. So now we're going to be slacking on resources because we have a rollback. As a city, we don't need to do that. We need to just be clear and concise and communicate with the citizens like, hey, we just can't do a rollback this year, guys. Have an understanding of that. And I get it, I pay taxes myself, it sucks, but if we want to move forward as a city, we're going to have to do that.
Kendrick Davis, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, one of 4 candidates running for mayor in the city of Villa Rica. Time right now is 8:51. If you have questions or comments for Kendrick, please post those to the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, and I'll have about a minute 20 to look at those and share them with our guest. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
The World Language Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined, curriculum-based track to acquire essential knowledge and skills for success in biliteracy fields of study. The successful completion of this journey provides colleges with a method to recognize a rigorous foreign language immersion experience for all students at Oak Mountain Academy. I'm Patrick Duran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Citizen councilors. 8:53. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. My name is Colin Worthington. My guest name, Kendrick Davis, one of 4 qualifiers to run for mayor in the city of Villa Rica. Again, municipal elections are coming up in November. Again, got about 6 minutes left with my guest. Is there anything that's important for you right now to get across? Maybe something some road I didn't go down.
Well, absolutely. Youth programming is very important to me. I know within the community, I've been talking to a lot of people that say there's not a lot for the youth to do. I feel like that we do need to start a program for the youth within the city, internship program, and also start a youth city council. I feel like that'd be a great opportunity, especially for those ones that are going over to college, going into public administration, to give an opportunity to see how a city functions. Also, within the Parks and Recreation department, Tracy Ives is doing a wonderful job over there. We do need to create some type of facility use agreement with the school system if they would like for us to do. We can trade off some things as well, but I like a facility use agreement so we can use some of their gymnasiums for our basketball program. We only have one gym, within the city of Villa Rica at Gold Dust, and we need to expand our program a little bit more so they have more time to practice. So if the school system would like, I'm definitely willing to hear some options there, but a facility use agreement would be great. I would like to also start a after-school program at Gold Dust Park, getting a bus maybe coming from Villa Rica Elementary and Heinzman to send a few of the children over to Gold Dust Park in the afternoon time so they can do an after-school program. The
relationship with the Carroll County school system is more important now than it was even just a year ago, based on the Fuquay deal, and now there's a committee that's been formed where the city and the school system can have people on that committee to discuss and maybe even consider housing in the future, how that'll affect the schools.
Absolutely, because with all these Apartment City USA coming, that we need to make sure that we stop here. The school system, they're going to get a large population of students that's going to be coming in from out of county. Everybody's flooding over here to Villa Rica, and it's not the fact that they want to move it out. They're moving here because we have a great city. We have a great city. It was a great opportunity for them to come over here. We have a great school system, at Carroll County. And, Ithaca Elementary, for example, it's one of the top elementary schools in the county. So, we're doing great things in Villa Rica, and people want to take part of it. We don't want to keep anybody out of Villa Rica. We want to make sure we're letting everybody in, of course, to take advantage of our opportunities that we have as a city. But we also got to be more responsible as a city, communicating with the county, Carroll County, communicating with the school system, and our public safety. We need to take advantage of all those opportunities as well and make sure we communicate. Tanner Hospital as well. I know right now, Tanner EMS wise, we have one emergency ambulance in Villa Rica. If we continue to add to Villa Rica with all these projects like the Fuquay project, it's going to be a load on them. So we need to make sure that we're communicating with Tanner as well to make sure that we can provide those resources, and we haven't done that.
Going back to your student or student citizen council or whatever, maybe think about mentorship. Who have been your mentors, or who have been the most influential to take you where you are now in your life?
Well, I'll tell you this: throughout my time in college and throughout my time, in the Parks and Recreation industry, I'll tell you one individual that that led me on this path. Her name was Janice Burns, the city of Jacksonville, Alabama. She was Parks and Recreation director. At the time, she was the president of the Alabama Parks and Recreation Association. When I was an undergrad, I actually wanted to be a sports medicine doctor. That was my path, was to be a sports medicine doctor, and I actually had to do an internship. I thought I was going to get into the YMCA, but I eventually got into the city of Jacksonville. They had the only opening, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And Janice, she told me, she was like, Kendrick, I think you got it. I think this is something that you can do. And more so, it wasn't just Parks and Rec, it was just municipal government as a whole. It's where I felt, my place was, in life working in municipal government, and I still have done it, ever since then. Even as a firefighter, I'm still in municipal government, doing a great job. It's been a great experience, throughout all these years. So yeah, that's one of my great mentors.
One of the powers that the mayor actually does have in Villa Rica is that veto. I want to say, Gil, the current mayor, I want to say he may have exercised that once. I can't remember how many times Jeff did, but the mayor before that, he actually had a cheeky little reputation about having a problem using the veto. How do you feel about that?
Well, we'll definitely try not to, for sure. We want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I know, we have to serve our wards. That's great, but you also have to serve the city. So we want to make sure that we're all, there for the same purpose. Make sure we're protecting our city, preserving what we have, and conserving what we need to conserve in the future. I'm not one that's going to tear down the historic, city of Villa Rica. I'm not going to. The service station that was right there off of 78, I was highly upset when that got tore down. We don't need to do things like that in the city of Villa Rica. We need to make sure we're preserving our community. It's very historic.
Kendrick, you have contact information, a website where people can check out?
Absolutely. You can email me at kendrick2davis@gmail.com. I'll respond right back to you. I'm just loving everything right now. We're having a great experience. I think we'll have a true campaign, and we'll be there in the end.
Yeah, fabulous. It was good to meet you.
Oh, you too, for
appreciate
sure.
you being on the show.
For sure.
Appreciate you watching and listening to us this morning. Remember, the municipal elections are coming up in November. Early voting is second, third week of October.
That's correct.
But until then, you're going to see these four candidates and hear from them a lot for the next couple of months. Again, thank you.
Absolutely.
Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy. Time right now is 8:59.